What if I told you that one of the toughest, simplest dual sport bikes on the planet is still alive, still rugged, and still ready to roll in 2026 with just enough modern tweaks to make it more usable than ever? Stick around because at the end I'll share one surprise upgrade idea that would make the XR650L not just legendary, but future-proof. Welcome back to Z Auto Advisor, your destination for raw bike reviews, gear talk, and what's really under the plastic. Today we're exploring the 2026 Honda XR650L. What's solid, what could be better, and whether it's worth riding in 2026. The XR650L is one of Honda's longest-living dual-sport motorcycles. It's nearly unchanged in core design for decades. Riders love it for its rugged simplicity. A big, air-cooled single-cylinder, long travel suspension, steel frame, and electric start. It doesn't try to be fancy. It tries to survive and do work. It's proof that you don't always need cutting-edge tech to make something great. For people who ride far, ride rough, ride in places where repair shops are scarce, that kind of reliability is gold. From official Honda spec sheets, 2024-2025, and other reliable sources, here are what the current XR650L offers. We expect most of this to carry into 2026, unless Honda makes major updates. Engine 644cc, air-cooled dry-sump single-cylinder 4-stroke power induction, 42.5 mi, diaphragm type CV carburetor transmission 5-speed manual. Freewet, O-ring chain final drive suspension, front 43 mm. Showa cartridge fork with AV 11.6 in travel suspension, rear. Pro Link Showa single shock 11 in travel. Wheels, tires. 21-inch front, 18-inch rear spoked wheels. Front tire 3.021, rear 4.60. 18 seat height 37.0 in, 940 MAPRO. Fuel capacity 2.8 gallons. Nistig 11L. Curbed or wet weight 346 lb, 157-160 kg, with fluids and full tank ground clearance. 13.0 in, 330 meters. So that's the baseline. High, rugged, capable, but also demanding due to seat height, weight, and older carburation. Given the spec above, what are areas where a 2026 XR650L might evolve to stay more relevant and comfortable for more riders? These are not confirmed changes, but reasonable expectations and desires from the community. The carburetor setup is simple, but shows age. Many riders expect or want fuel injection for smoother starts, better cold weather performance, and compliance with stricter emissions laws. Maybe basic LED lighting, if not already in all markets. Possibly ride modes, off-road Kurna street, or traction control for added safety. Better instrument cluster, digital or mixed with fuel gauge, trip meters, etc. to make long rides easier. Stock suspension is good but somewhat soft, especially under load. More adjustability, preload for rear, damping for front could help. Slight seat design improvements, more comfort for long rides or two-up. Keeping weight manageable, possibly lighter components or simpler bodywork. Tank shape, handlebar position, and foot peg placement that help riders control the bike when standing, which is common off-road, and lower seat height or options for shorter riders. Factory options for skid plate. Better lighting, auxiliary, better protection, handguards, luggage mounting points, maybe optional larger fuel tank for extra range. Here's what it's like to ride the XR650L, and how those improvements could change the feel. When the road ends, the XR650L comes alive. The tall 21-inch front, long travel, and simple single make it forgiving over rough surfaces. You can stand easily, you can maneuver it through rocky terrain. It doesn't have the torque of a newer engine, but the mid-range pull is strong enough to get over hills or mud. Issues are heat, vibration, and if the carburetor isn't tuned perfectly, starting in cold or high altitude can be finicky. On pavement, it's usable, definitely not fast compared to modern sport or naked bikes, but highway cruising is possible. The long gearing and relatively high RPM at speed means some buzzing and discomfort, unless maintained well. Fuel stops are more frequent, especially if you ride aggressively. Daily commuting or long adventure days show where the XR650L demands respect. Seat height really matters if you stop often. Wind protection is minimal. Comfort at speed is limited. Heat from the engine is felt. But where it shines is reliability. Minimal maintenance, simple engine, parts usually available, and a bike you can fix in rough conditions. While improvements are welcome, several features of the XR650L are part of its core identity and must remain if it stays true. Air-cooled single-cylinder. Simplicity. Fewer parts, easier maintenance. Steel frame and dry sump design, rugged and reliable. 1-inch front. 18-inch rear-spoked wheels. Essential for off-road capability and tire availability. Electric start plus sealed battery. To make cold or long stops easier. Minimal but durable lighting and street-legal parts. Turn signals, mirrors, etc. Riding the XR650L always comes with trade-offs. Even if 2026 makes small upgrades, these are inherent to the platform. Massive seat height, 940 mm, and weight, 157 to 160 kg, make low-speed maneuvering, technical off-road, and stops difficult for shorter riders. Carburetor, unless replaced or tuned, less efficient, more finicky in varied weather altitude. Vibration and heat, especially for long highway runs. Fuel economy is moderate, and the fuel tank isn't huge, so range is limited. Lack of modern rider aids unless added. No standard traction control, ABS off-road mode, etc. In many markets, so because Honda has been producing the XR650L continuously for many years with few major technical updates, a 2026 model might not be a revolution, but some of these cosmetic updates, new color options, graphics, perhaps slightly updated bodywork, emissions compliance adjustments, if carburetor is maintained, maybe small changes, or move to fuel injection in some markets. Slight improvements in ergonomics, seat design, grips, etc. Better lighting or small electrics. Improvements. Possible accessory packs are better. Availability of aftermarket parts. Here's the surprise feature. Idea that could transform the XR650L for 26 modular fuel injection, dual fuel. Imagine if Honda offered a version of the XR650L with optional fuel injection, allowing classic carburetor simplicity, but giving owners a path to upgrade to fuel injection. Or even a dual fuel mapping that could run on lower grade fuel without stalling, adjust automatically for altitude, etc. This would address one of the biggest complaints, cold starts, altitude performance, emissions, while preserving most of the old model's simplicity and repair-friendly nature. As of 2025, the XR650L's MSRP in the US is $6,999 plus destination fees. It's positioned as a premium dual sport because of its displacement, toughness, and Honda's heritage. For 2026, unless major upgrades are added, price is likely to stay in that neighborhood, with small increases for inflation. Where it's especially valuable, truly to AC's remote riders who care more about durability than speed. Riders who want a dual sport that truly goes off-road but remains street, legal. Adventure or overlanding riders who don't mind the simplicity, want fewer things to break. At Z Auto Advisor, we believe the XR650L remains one of the purest dual sports you can own. If your priority is reliability, simplicity, off-road toughness, and you accept the trade-offs, it's still very much worth it. If Honda adds even moderate improvements, fuel injection, slightly better lighting, more comfort touches, the 2026 XR650L could appeal to more riders without sacrificing what has always made it great. For many riders, nothing shiny or tech-heavy replaces a motorcycle that just works when things are rough. If you found this deep dive into the 2026 Honda XR650L useful, please like, share with your adventure riding friends, and subscribe to Z Auto Advisor so you don't miss my upcoming reviews, spec rumors, and dream bike discussions.